doing well. Hope Chuck's treating you good. It's been a weird week. I'll go over my numbers here in a little bit. But everybody at the house got COVID. And I'm doing a truck quarantine. I don't know if that's a thing, but it is now. So I'm heading up here to Indiana. I don't get up this way too much. Maybe about once every couple of months I'll take a trip up here if it pays good. And I'm heading up here now, and the weather's starting to turn on me. Just started running into snow and ice, and now it's spitting rain and snow. Just the kind of conditions that you don't want to see when it's below freezing. It really can mess up roads. But let me show you what I'm looking at. And I have some of that windshield wiper fluid that not supposed to freeze up. And guess what? It froze up. You know what? I like seeing the snow. I like visiting where there's snow, but I sure wouldn't want to live in it. So let's talk about the COVID. I got the COVID, Pop.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob. It's not very well ventilated down there.
For Christ's sake, Derek, you've been down there one day.
What is it?
COVID, like any other illness, is serious, especially when you get something that you have to rest, lay in bed, that, pneumonia could creep in there and make something very, very serious. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's the flu, if it's a cold, whatever. If you're laying in bed, laying on your back, the older you get, the worse it gets too. But if that pneumonia creeps in there, then things get very serious. So I left the house earlier this week, and a couple days after I left, I got a message saying, hey, our daughter's sick. I'm going to take her to the doctor. Next day, I think it was the next day, I got a message saying we're at the doctor. Took the COVID test, took a flu test. They both came back negative, but the doctor says it's probably COVID. So we have to go home and quarantine. Fortunately, my wife has a job where on occasion she can work from home if she needs to. And I was literally 5 miles from the house, about to park the truck and come home when I got that message. So I had to make a quick decision of whether, what to do. I had a trailer hooked up to my truck that I needed to deliver the next morning. But if I went home, I probably would have been stuck in quarantine with those guys. I wouldn't have wanted to go anywhere and spread it if I had it. So I decided I was going to go ahead and deliver the trailer. So I hit the gas pedal, flew on by the house, went down to Houston, and fortunately, the trailer was dropping at a truck stop. I dropped the trailer, and what I did was I just spent the rest of the day there seeing if I was, gonna have any of the symptoms or gonna feel bad or anything, kind of isolating in the truck. Now my daughter, she had a bad headache and she was throwing up. And she was feeling pretty rotten. And then the next day, my wife started getting it, and she was having more of the flu-like symptoms, just the body aches, tiredness, and sore throat. And I wanted to come home, but she said, no, don't worry about it. I've got it under control. You know, if you don't have it, there's no sense in you coming home and getting it. And my plan was to only work a couple days that week and go home. So I had to come up with another plan. Do I just stay in the truck for a few days, kind of isolate from them and from everyone else? Or do I go home and try to help out? Well, at the end of that day, I decided, hey, I'm still feeling pretty good. I don't think I have it. Why don't I go ahead and book another power only load? Because when you're doing power only, most of the time you don't even come in contact with anybody other than taking a piece of paperwork from someone. I had groceries in the truck, so my thought was, why not do a truck quarantine? I'll go ahead and pick up, find a load that's going long distance. The only time I'll have to get out of the truck is if I'm getting fuel. I won't come in, get near anybody. I won't come in contact with anybody. I'll, use hand sanitizer, wear the stupid mask, and just do basically a quarantine, until I figure out that I'm still well and I don't have it. So that's what I did. I booked a load, and this one coming up here to Indiana. And the only time that I've gotten out of the truck was to get fuel. Now let's go over my numbers for last week. Just an update. I got an update from home. Everybody's feeling a lot better. They're getting over it. Daughter's pretty much back to normal. My wife, she still has some aches. Her neck is hurting her, but that could be from, she's had a neck issue before, but that could be from laying around so much too, crick in her neck. But everybody's feeling a lot better, so I think that's hopefully it's passed at home, and I'll be able to go home here next week. But last week, since all that crap happened, I was only planning on doing the 3 loads and going home anyway, but it was a $2,700, or $2,750 is the total gross I had last week. Pretty efficient week. 3 loads, 3 very short runs, and I probably, for my own duty and drive time, I think I used maybe 17 hours off my clock, and I cannot remember the mileage now. I've reset my odometer, but I believe it was around between 600 and 700 miles. So, pretty good week for just 2 days worth of work, 3 short loads. But there again, it just had a monkey wrench thrown in. So now, this week started on Friday. It's Sunday now. This load that I'm on, I didn't see, when I was searching for loads, I just couldn't find anything in the lanes that I like to run. And there's a good reason for that. So when the winter time hits, all these people that live up north, not all of them, some of them, like to come down to the southern states to get out of the snow, ice, and cold weather, and they scoop up all the loads that I like to do. That's okay. I can deal with it. So there was nothing on load boards, nothing in the lanes that I like to do, and my normal little dedicated run, I'll call it my dedicated run, that I have around the house, I hadn't gotten a call. There wasn't anything in it, which was kind of peculiar, but I didn't want to call that agent and bug him, because he had said the week prior that I was his guy on that run. It was going to start being a regular thing, and so he's a real good agent, very good. I've worked with him a lot. Friday or Thursday, what I did was I went on a couple of bidding sites. And what I like to do on the bidding sites, if there's nothing that I just want, a perfect load for me in the lanes that I like, I'll start putting in offers on other lanes, but I'll just jack up the price. And if I don't get it, I'm not disappointed. And if I do, then I'm getting a good rate to go a place I don't like to go. So the very first load I put a bid in on, I put it in for $4 a mile, right close to $4 a mile. I immediately got a message back saying, yeah, that you're gonna have to lower your bid there, partner. And then I wasn't disappointed because I really didn't want to come up here to Indiana and get this ice and snow. Then I got a message from the agent that I worked with, who worked for that same company, saying, hey, you got the load, go ahead. So I had to, shift some mental gears there and get back in the groove of it. And so I went and picked up the load, and it was sort of a fiasco. It was at a construction site. The construction was just about done. There was nobody around, and there were 2 trailers sitting there from the same agent, and they didn't give me a trailer number. I looked inside both trailers, and they both had the exact same thing in it, leftover insulation that they didn't use. So probably less than 1,000 pounds worth of insulation in both trailers. I made calls, I sent emails, nobody was answering. So I did what you should probably never do. I made an assumption that both trailers were exactly the same and going to the exact same place, and I hooked up to one and I left. I got about 50 miles down the road, and I got a call from the agent saying, oh, sorry, I was late getting to the office today, but I don't know which trailer you should have taken, so I need you to stop. Which still at that point wasn't no big deal. I figured, hey, I'll stop here for a few minutes. You'll make a couple of calls, and I'll find out if I did the right thing or not. 45 minutes later, he still had no response from anybody. And I needed to make a decision because earlier that morning, I'd already booked a load with Coyote coming back that was paying over $6 a mile. So I needed to make some decisions really quick. It was getting toward the middle of the day, and middle of the day on Friday is not when you want to be booking loads for over the weekend. So I told the guy, hey, I'm just going to take this trailer back. I'm at the point where I'm going to already have to cancel my load for Monday. And so I headed back, and I got back, right before I got back, I called the Coyote agent and said, hey, I'm sorry, this load that I'm on is messed up, and I won't be able to get to that one. As soon as I parked the trailer, disconnected, pulled out from underneath it, I got a message saying, hey, you were right, go ahead and take that trailer. So I jumped back on the phone, called the other agent from Coyote and said, hey, that load's still available, I still want it. And he was very understanding and gave me the load back. So we're back to plan A. Originally, it was just a perfect little run, over 1,200 miles. Going to run all day Friday, all day Saturday, shut down, get a reset in, have plenty of hours for the next week. But after that little fiasco, it just changed that plan altogether. Which is no big deal because the week before, I didn't even run 20 hours. So I had over 50 hours left, which is, in normal circumstances. The road is getting a little slick over on that side. Under normal circumstances, 50 hours is plenty of time to get me up to Indiana and get me back. So I took my time. Friday only did about 400 miles. everybody freaks out. You know, they hear things on the news. Everybody's dying. The hospitals are full. And, you know, there's so much controversy from politics on either side. And the truth is, you know, out there somewhere in the middle. But like I said, anything that makes you sick and you have to lay in bed is a serious thing, and it can develop in even more seriously if you get the pneumonia. I've had pneumonia, and I can tell you it is no fun. I worked for 2 days, thought I had a backache, and it got so bad that I couldn't hardly bend or move. Ended up going to the hospital. I was in the military, and they took an x-ray, and my lungs were about a third full of fluid. But I was 18, 19 years old. I could jump over a car, and I got over it pretty quick. But the older you get, the longer it takes to get over these things. It doesn't matter if it's COVID, if it's a cold, or the flu, or what. So you have to take care of yourself. And just like if you have a cold or flu, don't cough on people. And if somebody coughs on you, you know, punch them in the face. Not really, but there are those people out there that just, they have no conscience as to what they're doing to other people. You know, they'll keep on going, shaking hands and go out drinking and dancing, and even though if they know they're sick. But I know there's going to be people that say, oh, well, you're spreading it, you're out there working. And I hope that's not the case. Like I said, I'm in this truck. I'm not coming near anyone. And when I do get out, it's to get fuel, and I'll watch that pump handle down. So I'm very conscious of that, and I don't want in any way to get near anybody and make them sick. But we're 6 days out now, and I'm still healthy and feeling pretty breezy, pretty chipper, pretty jaunty. And hopefully it stays that way. And you guys out there, you know, take it seriously. If you start getting a cough that doesn't go away, or start feeling bad, that's the point where you should, you know, maybe say, hey, I'm not going to spread this to somebody else. And isolate yourself, go to the doctor. Anyways, you guys be safe out there, and we'll talk to you.